It's going to be hard for me to tell you how much I hate Amy because there are so many reasons it's terrible. But I'm gonna try anyway. Amy is one of those games built around a fundamentally sound idea. But unfortunately for anyone who sadly spent their hard-earned cash on the game, Amy delivers nothing but extreme disappointment. Whether it's the game's horrendous gameplay, nonsensical story, subpar look, or monotonous approach, Amy falls far short of even being a decent game in just about everything it does. In short, Amy is awful, and you should stay far, far away from even considering buying it, nonetheless actually putting yourself through the pain of playing it.
Amy, come here.
I'll be damned, there really was a little girl. You must be Amy.
The story of Amy revolves around a woman named Lana and a little girl named Amy. At the beginning of the game, Lana and Amy are traveling by train when a devastating event derails it and sends them careening towards disaster. Through the game's 6 chapters, Lana is tasked with getting Amy out of harm's way as the greater story unfolds around her. The story is nebulously told, however, and the gameplay is so excruciatingly terrible that you won't find solace in actually caring about it, no matter how much you try. Graphically, Amy doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad either. Instead, it looks decidedly old. When playing, however, you'll notice that the game doesn't run well. Voice acting runs the gamut from decent to horrendous.
I'm pleased I found you.
And Amy doesn't do anything aesthetically to ease the blow to your cranium you're bound to receive when you actually try to extract enjoyment out of playing it.
There's everywhere! Scrap, lady!
Regardless of how Amy looks and runs, the true pitfall with Amy is actually having to play it. There are bad games everywhere, but rarely am I tasked with reviewing a game that makes me want to throw my PlayStation 3 clear across the office, out of the window, and onto the San Francisco streets below. So rest assured, Amy is outright terrible. A major gripe I have with the game is how it controls. Amy totes a completely unintuitive control scheme that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Since much of the game revolves around Lana walking around with and protecting Amy while Amy keeps her healed, you'll have to control both Amy and Lana on the fly. Thing is, it's just not that easy to do. In fact, it's downright frustrating. Combat in Amy is terrible, and there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to if and when you strike an enemy, if and when an enemy strikes you, or anything in between. And it gets worse. Amy is part survival horror to be certain, but it's also heavily puzzle-centric. But between the game's nonsensical approach in telling you what to do and how to do it, combined with Amy's painful control scheme, makes puzzle solving more complicated than it should be. Why am I telling Amy to crawl through a hole into a vacant office to collect a keycard when I, as Lana, could clearly fit through the hole and get it myself? Why is Lana having Amy, a little girl who doesn't so much as speak, hack computers for her? Why am I using some sort of DNA gun to collect blood samples to get through locked doors? Why am I having to do this over and over again at every turn in the game? Hell, why am I playing Amy at all? As you can see, Amy is a terrible game, and you should do everything in your power not to play it. I don't take my harshness lightly, as people put their blood, sweat, and tears into making the game. But the end result amounts to one of the worst downloadable games I've ever played. You could almost literally take your $10, go onto your downloadable service of choice, randomly point at the screen, download what you pointed at, and come up with a game twice as good as Amy. That's all you really need to know. For more reasons on why Amy is terrible, head on over to IGN.com.